As you can see, we are live in Napoleon, where it may be a little rainy, but life is certainly still better here. We are having a great time this morning. I'm joined now by Judy from Just Stuff, and you have brought some of your Just Stuff, haven't you?
Yes, I brought a few items.
Well, why don't you tell me what we would find at Just Stuff? What all do you have there?
Well, it's hard to describe. I have a lot of handmade items. We have vintage items. We have collectibles. We have furniture. We have clothing, new with tags, and they're better quality clothing. We have handmade jewelry. It's just stuff.
It's just stuff. So how do you get the items that come to the store?
I have 16 vendors right now, and we've kind of become like a family. And I have 4 consignments and stuff that I bring in and I make, and we fill the store.
What made you decide to open Just Stuff here in Napoleon?
Well, it wasn't a planned venture. I was retired, and the opportunity came for me to dispose of extra Christmas decor. And I was only going to be open for 2 months, November and December. And before the end of December, I had people asking me to stay open. And so I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And that was 3 years ago.
And you're still there?
I'm still there.
So you have different vendors that have things in there. You consign. Do you find that you get a lot of different variety? Like right now you have items. 6 months ago, were the items a lot different? Do you find that it's kind of the same thing?
It changes.
So there's a lot of variety. So if I was in your store 6 months ago, I definitely ought to come back now because it's totally different.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and it changes weekly. I have vendors that change their stuff out almost daily. I have a vendor that is very crafty, and she switches out several times through the year, you know, and the stuff she makes is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of painted furniture, which is really popular right now. And yeah, it just changes. You can't find the same thing in there, you know, twice usually.
I think that's the kind of thing that it's important that people know, because when they might stop here, especially if they don't live here in Napoleon, they might stop and then they don't think, I should go back there and check. They think, oh, well, I already saw what they have.
Yes, it changes
but it's
all the time.
definitely something they should come back and check you out.
Yes, you have to come back and check because it's just, there's always new items. Always.
Well, you definitely brought some unique items with you today.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the things that you brought with you.
Okay. Well, this is made out of a necktie. It's a necklace for a lady to wear. And it can be worn as a necklace or as a scarf.
Hold it up right here so that he can get a good shot of this with the camera. It's very unique. Who would ever think to make a tie into a necklace?
Well, I did because I had 100 ties.
I'm very impressed with that.
And I had to find a use for them. So, and that's what we do a lot of. We repurpose a lot.
I wish I had a creative brain like that, because I would think, well, I'm just going to have to give those ties away because I have no idea what to do with them.
So some of the, yeah. And then this.
This is probably the most unique thing, because honestly, I didn't even realize this was a tie. This is the coolest thing. So this is a record, and it's got watch faces all the way around it, adds the numbers on the clock.
Yes, and each watch face is set at the time that it represents.
That's really cool.
And yeah, it was just something fun to do.
Did you make that?
Yes.
See, why can't I be smart like that? That's really cool. And it's just run by a battery in the back, I assume?
Yes.
That's pretty sweet.
Yes.
And then there are other things that are,
yes.
I mean, I would assume this is an antique.
That's a Fenton. It's a piece of collectible glass. Yeah, and we do have nice pieces of glass. We have nice pottery. We have vintage kitchen items. You name it. It's just stuff.
And cute little birds there.
Yeah, that's a new item that came from a wholesaler. And so we also offer new items for gifts and decor and lots of yard art.
And then also your fun vintage suitcase.
Yes, we have a lot of vintage items.
Which I think is a really popular kind of trendy thing right now.
It is. It's very popular right now.
And then you also do a loyalty program for
when the shoppers
customers
come in,
too.
As they shop, when they come up to the counter to pay, if they made a $5 purchase, they'll get a stamp. And when that's full, they'll get a $5 discount. And the shoppers love it. They come back, and every time they make a purchase, they pull out their card and they get their stamps. And they just love it.
Well, let's talk about another deal that you're offering people for that are watching today.
Yeah, the first 5 people that come into Just Stuff and they mention that they saw me on this program will receive a 24% discount on their next purchase.
See how she played that whole NBC 24 thing and did the 24% discount? She's a very smart woman. She makes clocks out of watch faces. She came up with a 24% discount. I'm very impressed with you.
Well, thank you.
Let's remind people, let's see, tell them when you're open.
I'm open Tuesdays through Friday, 10 to 5. Once in a while on a Saturday for a special occasion. This weekend we'll be setting up at Picker's Paradise at the Henry County Fairgrounds. But those are our normal hours, Tuesday through Friday. And yeah.
And tell them where Just Stuff is located.
We're at 733 North Perry Street, right down from Seasons Eatings.
All right. Right down from Seasons Eatings, where you can get all that great food, and then you can come down and walk around after you've eaten at Seasons Eatings
and they can
check out all this great stuff.
And they can enjoy a free cup of coffee.
There you go. And get your 24% discount. Make sure you're one of the first 5 people to come in and say you saw Judy right here on Better Living. We'll be right back.